This is a $200,000 racing simulator that is a full-sized F1 car that moves, and you can put it in your house if it's big enough.
That's what she said.
But this is only one of the coolest things that you're about to see in this video. I have traveled all around the world to test some of the most impressive tech ever made, from the most expensive to the tallest, smallest, and pretty much everything in between. And my journey starts here in the south of England.
Right, so we've arrived in Kent, but I've got no idea where I'm heading. This industrial estate's absolutely huge, and we're on the wrong side of it, I'm assuming. So we've got to try and find it. They've got like 5 units, these guys, and we're going to check out all the different spots, and then obviously the cool simulators. So
thanks for coming down.
Yeah,
nice to meet you.
Absolute pleasure.
So, welcome to our main Vesaro production facility.
So this is Charles. He is the head of sales at Vesaro and was kind enough to give me a tour of the entire complex, which did take a few hours.
When customers are buying, they can essentially spec this out as you would be buying a new car. You can choose your seat, your shifters, your steering wheel, the color, as much as you can think. Create yourself a really kind of bespoke system. This is like a real actual gearbox system that's been converted to be used as a simulator. Yeah,
good.
you got nice tactile feedback. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
We then headed to see how the simulators are constructed. Everything is built on site in the UK, even the metal on the rig. They cut all of this to size with the various CNC machines and also do all of the painting in-house as well. This allows them that flexibility for the customers to have pretty much whatever they wish on their builds. The sky's the limit. In fact, while I was there, they were undergoing the process of creating a custom bracket for a customer's VR headset so they could mount it exactly where they wanted on the rig. It's a one-of-one design. In addition, something really cool that I noticed with the Vesaro simulators is that they are all fully constructed within the facility, and then they ship them out within these huge wooden cargo crates, fully built, and they can even install it for you with the other ends. It's literally plug and play.
You may have seen these before in the other units, but these are actually a commercial version of the F1 simulators.
Okay, yeah.
These are for a commercial client based in the Middle East. I believe these are going in a hotel, actually, of all places. These actually have a integrated door system to make getting in the simulator
Oh, that's massively different.
a lot easier.
Oh, I like that.
Now, speaking of getting into the simulator, it was finally time to check out the main attraction and the reason why I've came here. And that's, of course, for Vesaro's flagship F1 simulator that costs around $200,000 fully spec'd out. This is a full-sized F1 car that is one-to-one scale to the real thing, literally what Lando Norris would drive on the track. It even has real, genuine Pirelli F1 tires that would be on the real car on the simulator, which is completely over the top, but also incredibly cool.
Okay, here we go. Oh, I've jumped the
you
start.
jumped the start.
I like that because it's so wide with the different screens too. You can like naturally move your head to look around the car. Feels pretty good. Maybe overcooked that a little bit.
One thing that was hard to adjust to the very first time you used this simulator was how low down an F1 car actually is. When you play the traditional Formula 1 games, you usually race within TV pods, so you have a much clearer representation of how large the vehicle is, and you can see the apexes of the corners. But because this was recreating the IRL seating position of a Formula 1 car, this meant that your visibility when entering the apex of a corner was significantly reduced. So a lot of the time I was misjudging the position of the vehicle on the track, but with a little bit of training, I think you would get used to this, and it would actually probably make you a little bit faster within the game because you have a better sense of scale of how big your car is, so you can place it more appropriately into those apexes.
Oh, I've done it again, you see. 'Cause that perception of the corner, it just comes up on you super duper fast. It feels really one-to-one, like the way the tires are sat where the screens are. Like I'm looking at the real life tire and then aligning that with the apex on the actual track.
Another unique aspect of the motion were the seatbelts. At first, I just thought these were sort of gimmicky seatbelts that you threw on to look cool for aesthetics, but they were actually a part of the entire motion system. So whenever you slammed the brakes on super hard, the seatbelts would compress into your chest to almost simulate G-forces.
Oh man, that it squeezes you in the chair with the tension in the belt because they tighten into your chest.
A few moments later.
You need to be pretty athletic if you're gonna get one of these, mine. We're out. That was epic. That was so good. I really enjoyed that. I think we need to buy one.
The guys also showed me the various other styles of simulators that they make. These range around sort of £45,000, a little bit more reasonably priced, but they're way more versatile because you can race any style of genre of game, even double them up as flight simulators. And the D-Box motion systems on these, combined with this $2,000 VR headset that I'd never seen before in my life, overall provided an absolutely fantastic, immersive experience. After we were done, this super cool dude called Leon personally dropped me off at the train station. Seriously guys, the service here at Vesaro was unreal. Here I then grabbed a train straight to London where I could continue my crazy tech journey. Right, so we've arrived in London and I've got to go find a hotel. We're stopping in a super cool spot, guys. Like, it's literally right on the River Thames. Got like a full view of the entire city. It's gonna be mint. While I was in London, I did have some unrelated stuff that I needed to do on this first night because I was invited to check out the new Gran Turismo movie at the Sony Pictures offices. This was before it actually came out. The film was pretty decent and I had a really fun night with some other influencers. It's like almost 1 a.m. something like that. We've got to get up at 5 a.m. to head over to Wembley because it's like quite far away. We need to get up for me in the morning, so I need to get some sleep. Well, I did live here like a little while ago, right when I was about 16 to 19. So I went to college and stuff here. You know London? Yeah, no, quite well. But I get taxis everywhere now because it's a little bit easier. Like I used to get the tube, but like when you're going somewhere to film or like an event, you get all hot and sweaty and stuff. It's not worth it. Yeah, thank you so much. Have a safe trip back. Well, that guy was super duper nice. So we now need to go get some food because I haven't eaten since 3 p.m. yesterday because we went to an event last night and I didn't get back till like 1 a.m. So absolutely starving. I need some breakfast and then we can go and check out this spot here. Now everyone else should be arriving at like 8:30, like an hour's time. We're a little bit early. Can't seem to find anywhere that's open. I'm gonna try and find something on Google Maps. Otherwise, we're gonna go 24 hours without food. I am dying right now. So we managed to find somewhere to eat. Unfortunately, it was Pret. I don't really like Pret. Everything has like mustard in it, but we're so desperate we're just gonna have to eat everything. The guys at this MeetSpace VR are super cool. So they've let us have the space. They usually open at like midday. So we've got the whole space for a couple hours, like completely to ourselves to check out all the different facilities that they've got. And it's like a 4-player game. So I've organized a few other YouTuber guys to come down and join us for it. So it should be a really fun video. So the way this works is it's basically an extreme version of room scale VR. You've got these cool guns that work with these laptop style backpacks that allow you to run around this enormous room.
Big game space here. It's lovely and echoey.
Yeah, it is echoey in here, isn't it? Wow. That's amazing. Okay. But unlike conventional VR at home, it's completely untethered and also the tracking is unbelievable.
We tried something so insane it made him throw up. That's like the title there.
I don't want to be the thumbnail today.
Now, there are a huge variety of different games that you can try out within this VR setup. Now, we first tried out the Far Cry game because we all love this franchise. Now, this is basically a 4-player co-op title that has you playing out various scenarios in pairs, and then towards the end, you come together as one large team.
You've never done VR
Never
ever?
done VR ever.
Ever?
Ever. The
Dude.
face cameras, it was sick.
Yeah.
This is so weird that you just walk. Like, I'm used to pressing the button to like move my guy. The weight of the gun feels pretty good as well. So good. Like, pretty accurate.
Watch out for the truck.
Oh, there's so many. How do we take the truck out?
Oh, there's another one.
Ben, can you see us on the cable car behind you?
Oh, I can see those guys, Jamie, on our left.
Yeah, I've seen them, yeah.
Hey guys. Oh, Mint, I can see. Oh, Jamie cleaned up. For someone that's never played VR before, that wasn't.
Never done VR ever.
The second game that we tried out was this walking simulator that, on the outside perspective, looked like we were just walking around and doing nothing interesting. However, inside of the headset, all of the perceptions and heights were changing, and it really tricked your brain to think that you were walking up steps, falling down hills, going around in a circle. It was crazy.
Walk off the edge, see what happens. Yeah, go on, see what happens, yeah, go on.
Go on, for science.
It was now time to get serious. This next game was super competitive. It was called Soul Raiders and allowed for up to 4v4 players, and it was basically Laser Quest, but in VR. This game was incredibly intense. You were running all over the map trying to cap the objective, and because all of us were noobs at this, we were getting absolutely demolished by the staff. It's alright. I was good on the kills, but not on the team objectives. Selfish players. In the second game, we weren't too bad. We improved our comms and team play and sort of figured out how the maps work. And we managed to pull back a point, and we were now drawing.
How did that one go? Okay, it's hard. Very tough.
Going into the third round on a draw, it all came down to this. Me and the boys tried our absolute hardest to try and bring the W home, but we were just outclassed and got smashed. And unfortunately, we had to go home with the L. Right, so I'm back in the hotel having a quick freshen up. That was absolutely insane. That VR experience was sick. Now, I've got another event to go to while I'm in London before we fly out to Germany. But first, I need to grab some food. It's 3 p.m. right now. I literally haven't eaten since 3 p.m. yesterday. So it's 24 hours since I had a proper meal other than that awful sandwich. So let's go get some nourishment. So the reason why we're flying out to Germany is for an event called Gamescom. This is one of the biggest gaming events in the world and also Europe. Over 400,000 people attended over the duration of its week. Here at this event, you can try out all of the latest and greatest greatest games before they're actually released, but my hope is I'll see some really crazy stalls that will have some interesting tech products.
Amazing. So we've arrived at Heathrow. I've never flown out of here before, so we can go figure out where we're flying. I hope we're at the right terminal. Okay, cool. So we've now arrived in Cologne. I've got to figure out where my hotel is, and then we can head out to Gamescom. Now, Gamescom actually starts tomorrow, but tonight there's some opening event night stuff.
Not allowed to say anything about it. Yes, exactly. All right. Well, guys. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys. Really disappointed.
So that was actually pretty good. We're gonna head back to the hotel now and get some work done. About 9 o'clock. We're gonna have to get up super early for Gamescom tomorrow. Is make sure we get there at a decent time. But mate, that food was pretty mint. I had a good time. I was just calling. I accidentally lost an item on an aeroplane of yours today. It was an SSD drive with some video footage on. I think it must have fallen out my bag while I was leaving the plane.
Don't hurry up, please. Calm down. Calm down. Are you calm now?
Yeah, I'm fine, mate. Yeah, the guy on the line was so ridiculous. He was like, calm down. Honestly, oh, it was so funny. Mate, well, that was a waste of time. So basically, I lost my hard drive on the aeroplane, so I took it out to edit, and then I ended up talking to some people on the plane that I met, and then I put the SSD in my blazer just so I didn't lose it. And then when I was leaving the plane, I put the SSD back into my bag. But as I must have put it in the bag, it must have fallen out in that process. And now I can't find it. Right, so I've decided to go straight back to the airport just to see if I can find it. Thank you very much. Excellent. Have a great day. Okay, so I'm at the airport, got no idea. Everything's in German. I've got no idea where the help desk is to try and find my bag. Right, so things are looking up. If we go to the ground floor, we're gonna find this spot, and then it's gonna be there. I'm feeling it. It's 100% gonna be there. Right, there it is, boys. It says bag tracing, but I don't know whether it's upstairs, this way, like, give me some arrows. So the lost baggage area is closed. Like there's a big massive white wall up against it. I lost like a small item on the plane, like a hard drive, a little external hard drive.
Okay, then you have to go to Lost and Found.
That woman gave me some instructions, but I have no idea what she said. I go this way, go right, and then there's a metal door. I think these are the stairs she was on about. We go down the stairs and it should be orange. Yeah, I don't think it's that metal door. Guys, we finally found it. Oh my god, this is it right here. Lost and found.
A few minutes later.
We were unsuccessful. The lost baggage hasn't came in from yesterday yet, so the guy's going to give me a call later on, and we'll maybe try again when we fly back in a couple of days. Hopefully it'll be there. I feel like we should go back. There we go, it's class. I just end up playing with it the whole time. I wouldn't end up playing with it. This would be me for like an hour movie.
The first thing I did when I arrived at the show floor was head over to the Xbox booth. This was one of the biggest booths at the entire event, and they had some really cool things. First, they had all of these one-of-a-kind Porsche Xboxes that they recently released to celebrate the 75th anniversary of Porsche. They had every single one of the custom Xbox Series X's with the various different liveries, and they looked unbelievable. Every single one of them was very impressive, but this one right here was by far my favorite. Nearby, there was also this Starfield spaceship cockpit that had this chair that reclined and moved back and forth. It was pretty awesome and immersive to use it. I kind of want something like this for a hardcore gaming setup at home, as that chair was insanely comfortable. Now, Gamescom spans multiple different days, and I had a media and press badge, which meant I got early access on the Wednesday and Thursday, so the show floor was much quieter than on the Friday when the general public started to flood in. This allowed me to explore the first day quite leisurely and just figure out where everything is, as the halls are huge in this place. There's around 11 halls, and every single one of them is massive.
This place is like 1,000 times busier than it was yesterday. I honestly can't believe how it's not even open yet. Tomorrow's the actual general public day. We're still in the press preview days. People were going crazy over free stuff, but it was just free crap. I'd never seen people get so excited in their lives. These people desperate for free stuff, screaming, give it to me. So this is a booth that I'm actually interested in taking a look at. Now, these are like crazy motion simulators, but for like off-road trucking games and like Fireman Simulator, which seems a little bit odd. But they've got these cool steering wheels that are like full-size truck steering wheels. I quite like the look of. Another microphone kicking off. Mate, why do they need a microphone? We can hear you without the microphone.
As I was saying, these steering wheels were designed specifically for games like Euro Truck Simulator, very similar to the ones you can buy from like Logitech for Farming Simulator, which I actually made a funny video about recently on the channel. These had some really cool button boxes, all labeled up as if they were taken straight out of a truck interior, and also a larger steering wheel than you would most commonly get from like a PlayStation or Xbox wheelbase. But this wasn't the only truck simulator steering wheel that I saw at the event. When I headed over to Vesaro Racing's booth, they had a brand new prototype for a wheel releasing next year that was a truck driving attachment onto their Vesaro wheelbases. Now I'm interested in checking some of these out. They really impressed me at the booth and talked me through the various different products they've got. They even showed me the new R3, which is designed specifically for the Xbox, and this thing is absolutely tiny. Look at how small that wheelbase is. It fits in my hand.
It looks like we found a new hole. I thought I'd seen everything. I just stumbled across this random corridor. It's led to this new place.
I came across an epic milkshake stand, so I had to have a quick refuel.
Hey, this is the best part about Gamescom. This thing's class.
I then stumbled across these shirts that were showing off at CES earlier this year. You wear these in combination with a VR headset, and they allow you to feel sensations within the game. The technology here is a step up from a standard haptics vest that just vibrates and rumbles. This shirt actually contracts and expands on your body, so it will squeeze elements of your chest and your arms so you can feel different sensations and pain within the game. In addition to this, it will also heat up and cool down so you can feel the temperature shift within the particular mission and level. They had a fun demo of this, and on display they were showcasing their new Assassin's Creed edition. On the topic of Ubisoft, they were also present at the show, and the new game for the crew was playable, which I wasn't too bothered about checking out because the last two have been pretty awful. But what I was interested in looking at was the brand new Lamborghini. This is the brand new Lamborghini Revelto that sort of replaces the Huracan. The spec on this thing is insane, with a 0 to 60 of 2.5 seconds. And thankfully, even though it is a new generation of Lamborghini, it isn't completely electric. It still has a V12 engine that you can toggle on, which is what we all want to hear. Because what's the point in buying a supercar if it sucks like a Tesla? While we're on the topic of cars, Xbox also had a Porsche Taycan Turbo S there. It's a cool car, but the 911 GT3 and GT3 RS is where it's happening. While I was also walking around, I stumbled across this pretty nice Mercedes and this sweet Audi R8, one of my all-time favorite cars, and they even had some race tires that had been used recently on the track.
Now, probably the coolest thing on the Xbox booth is none of the games, but they've got these dev kits. So you actually can see the beta consoles that the developers have back at their offices where they make the games. And it shows you what like the Series X almost looks like for those guys, or any future hardware that they're also obviously testing. And you can see them super clearly in all the different cases, which is pretty nice.
I'm not gonna lie, the Friday at Gamescom was insane. There was way too many people.
I luckily managed to jump some queues with the pass that I've got, spotted a few security guards, but mate, honestly, it would take ages to get in otherwise.
It got so bad that you couldn't get between the holes. The main entrance was completely gridlocked. For a bit of perspective, the previous few days, you were looking at around 35 minutes wait to actually try out a game early. Whereas on these public days, that wait time had gone up to around 3 to 4 hours, which was just nuts.
It's so hard to get through today. Everywhere's crammed. Literally can't get anywhere.
Before I left, I had a quick visit to the Corsair booth. Here they had literally the world's largest pair of headphones. Look at how massive that is. Along with some other new awesome products, such as their RGB fans. These look like they have stopped in time with their lighting effects, but they genuinely are still spinning. A part of the Corsair booth was also ran by Track Racer and Alpine F1. Here they were showcasing the new Alpine F1 simulators in a custom Corsair yellow. And I'm not gonna lie, I was super impressed by these simulators. I thought they looked absolutely fantastic with their paint jobs. And also, if you can't tell in this video, I'm a bit of a sucker for racing simulators and steering wheel. Let me know what your favorite racing game is in the comments.
Right, so I've decided to bail. I've had enough now. I've had 3 days here. It's way too busy now. We've seen everything we've done, so we're gonna cut it, chill out, then head back to the UK.
On the way back to the airport, I had one thing on my mind. All those hours I wasted looking for the SSD drive.
While we're here, I thought I'd try and get my SSD one last time. We're gonna try going to customer support and see if we can find it.
Seeing as though I knew exactly where I needed to go to find this after last time, I literally had nothing to lose. And it was a good job that I visited.
So we managed to get the SSD back. I went to the customer help spot, about the same one as last time. It's in the same terminal. And the dude had it, so result.
Obviously, all of this tech that we've seen is incredibly cool, but if you wanted to actually use it at home, you're gonna need a pretty powerful PC in order to power it all. And that's why you should watch this video next, where I build one of the largest gaming PCs in the world. It's pretty powerful.